my most hated men's colognes. So I've done another one of these before about my most hated, I think, fragrances in general, but today I want to focus on specifically the men's side of things. Hopefully I will not offend anybody too personally. And again, disclaimer, which the same disclaimer I had on the other video, I do not really hate these fragrances, I just kind of dislike them, at least compared to other fragrances that are out there. By the way, I have a new channel called Shining Times, which is quite a bit different from this channel and is mainly about outdoorsy things like gardening, hiking, traveling, maybe a few recipes here and there. But if you're interested in that sort of thing, subscribe. It's a very new channel and I appreciate the support. So I'm going to start with, I think, one that I think a lot of people can agree with. This is Versace Eros. So I like one thing about this, and that's the vanilla note. It has a very nice, very warm, kind of sweet vanilla note. Besides that, this is a teenager's fragrance. This is a fragrance that very young men go to the club trying to pick up the chicks. And this is, you can't really take it seriously because of that. You know, when a person wears this, it's kind of like, again, I think of teenagers wearing this. This is very strong, kind of too in your face, a little too much. It is affordable, but at what cost? Again, the vanilla note is the one good thing about it. It is a very nice vanilla note. But other than that, again, a little too much. So really not in the zone here. I would say really anything is a better alternative for this. I would say Dylan Blue from Versace is a really good alternative to this because it is still very strong, but more mature, definitely not as teenager-ish, not trying to show off so much. So that's my thoughts, at least. I know quite a few people do not enjoy Versace Eros either, because it is just kind of, again, too much. Then, dare I say, Acqua di Gio. So, I do not hate this fragrance, but I do dislike it because it's very weak. And if you've been watching my videos, you ought to know by now I really dislike weak fragrances. There's nothing worse than buying a full bottle of some sort of fragrance, you know, a pretty pricey bottle especially. You put it on, it just disappears into your skin, never to be seen again. It is gone. There's nothing worse than that. Just a waste of money. And this is not the lightest fragrance I've ever come across, but it is very light. Now, it does smell nice. It's very fresh. It has, you know, rosemary in it, citrus notes, things like that. Very, very refreshing, very nice. Very kind of Italian Riviera-esque, that sort of thing. But it is too light. The other thing about it is that it's very much overdone. It's been around since the 90s, which in itself is not a bad thing. There are plenty of good fragrances that have been made over the years, but the thing about it is that it's been so popular for too long. It's kind of oversaturated, you know. When you smell it on someone, it's not really anything special. Like, I wouldn't even think about it. It's like, oh, this person's just wearing something. It's not like, oh, this person's wearing something really nice, I wonder what he's wearing. You know, it's just kind of like you don't really care when someone's wearing Acqua di Gio. So, kind of a very bland, basic option. But I would say a good alternative to Acqua di Gio, maybe Xerjoff 40 Knots, or, I mean, again, even Dylan Blue, because it does have that very fresh, aquatic approach. Then, this one is actually unisex, but I do have to mention it. This is Voyage d'Hermès from Hermès. The reason I like this, the reason I dislike this is the same reason why I dislike Acqua di Gio. It's very weak. I dislike this one more than Acqua di Gio because it's even weaker. So, the thing about this, you can see it's meant to be a very fresh, aquatic, crisp sort of fragrance. Has some green notes, has some citrus, that sort of thing. It smells fine, you know, the smell is fine, it's very refreshing. it doesn't last. It doesn't last at all. Every time I put some on, I'm like, oh, it smells nice. It's gone. It is vanished from the face of the earth. I can't stand it. And it's an expensive fragrance. I think it's $90 for the full bottle. I'm not gonna spend $90 on some liquid that's gonna vanish like water as soon as I put it on. So I really dislike that. If there is a stronger version, now this is the eau de toilette. I am not sure if they have an eau de parfum or maybe an intense version. If they do, it's probably fine, because again, the smell is really good. It's just that it has no longevity. No, like 30 minutes or 20 minutes of longevity, it's gone. Which is disappointing, to say the least. But again, if there's a stronger version, I'm sure it would be fine. But as it is, I would not recommend it. Not worth the price. Then, two ones that I do not currently have, which is Calvin Klein Obsession for men, not Calvin Klein Obsession for women. The women's version is wonderful. I love the women's version. Again, the same reason here. The men's version is actually very weak, which is surprising, because usually men's versions of a fragrance are stronger than the women's versions, but this is quite the opposite. I would say the men's version of Obsession, and you can actually see the difference. The men's version is more of a clear bottle, and the women's version is more of a warm, rusty orange color. The men's version is kind of watery, in my opinion. Definitely, it's not worth it. The thing about the women's version of Obsession, I would say it's very unisex, because it's an extremely musky, animalistic, woodsy scent. Easily works for both men and women, despite it saying for women. So I would just completely avoid the men's version of Obsession entirely, because it's just, I don't even know why it's there. Just like stick to the women's one. Then the last one that I have to diss, I suppose, I would say Jupon, or Jupe, however you pronounce it. Specifically, I actually like the fragrance. It's quite nice. It's a tobacco honey fragrance, which is very unique. I would say I would not recommend it for men, because it's pretty sweet, obviously if you're a man and you enjoy sweetness, you probably will really enjoy it. But I would say for men, it's probably not a great option, because it's not just, it's a little bit sweet. It's really sweet. It's, the funny thing is, when it came out in the 80s, it was designed for men. It came out for men. Women immediately took it over. They just took it, because again, it's that really nice sweetness mixed with the tobacco, this kind of, I guess, savory sweet sort of thing. And it actually became more popular for women even than men. It is a good unisex option, but I would say for the average man, probably would not like it as much as women, because of that really intense sweetness, the honey note that it has, really sweet. But again, if you are a man and you like sweet fragrances, you would like it. It's just one of those polarizing fragrances, And especially because of how sweet it is, and it's pretty strong as well, it smells very different depending on your body chemistry. Some people might smell really, really great, and other people just might smell like something is wrong here, something is too sweet, sickly sweet. So, again, one of those polarizing fragrances, you just have to be careful with it. Again, I personally don't hate it, but it is a very delicate balance of things to be able to wear Jupon. But that is my list. Again, I don't really hate any of these fragrances. Really, the only thing I really hate is weak fragrances. And of course, quite a few of those are on this list, but that is my list. So, if you have any opinions, hopefully I won't be attacked for my choices here today. But of course, you can always leave your opinions down in the comment section below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.